Good evening and welcome to tonight's show. I am your host, Tina Dawson, the owner of True Blue Designs, and it is truly an honor to be with you this evening. The month of March, True Blue Designs is celebrating our 12-year anniversary. So I just thank you for tuning in tonight. I thank Christopher Columbus for having our special guests come in this entire month. And I'm just so honored to have him as a friend and have these guests stop in and wish us a happy anniversary. Now, before we go forward, I want to make sure that everybody knows, please like and share and comment. Make sure that you comment. Let the guests know that you're engaged. And at the end of the show, we will be choosing some winners. We're going to choose winners from last week and this week and mail out your gift. Next week is the last show of our anniversary month. So you want to make sure that you tune in next week for that show also. Now, before we bring on Christopher Columbus, because he's going to stop in and say hello, we want to wish a happy birthday to last week's guest, Lav Love. Today is his birthday. So if you can go to his page, Comedian Lav Love, and give him a shout out and wish him a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lav. Okay, so before we bring on Christopher Columbus also, I want to make a statement about the recent tragic events that have happened in Atlanta and Colorado. And our hearts go out to all those who are hurting and impacted by the tragic events in Atlanta and Colorado. Let's continue to lift those lost and their loved ones up in prayer and continue to keep our nation in prayer. So now let's bring on Christopher Columbus.
Tina!
Hey, Chris, how are you?
What's going on? I'm good. Still celebrating the anniversary, right?
Still celebrating.
Hey, this 12 years, so what you gonna do for 13? What you gonna do for 13?
Look, I'm gonna let you plan it.
I got you. Make sure long as it's catered by Popeyes, we good.
Spicy.
Spicy. I don't care how long the wait is. We got 365-day wait. We gonna wait for it though.
Well, we missed you last week. We know that you had stuff to do, but we missed you.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I tied up, whatever. So I had to be here for this one. For the finale, bring it in. Well, next week is frat brother Angelo coming in. So yeah. So we got one more week coming in.
Yeah. So I just really thank you for all that you've done to make my anniversary very special.
No problem. I'm just surprised it took me 12 years to get here. Be on the show. You know what I'm saying? It took me 12 years, but I get it. It's all good. I'm not gonna take it personal. I understand.
Don't you start. But I want you to tell everybody about the Greek comedy tour, how they can get in contact with you.
Right. All right. So as most people know, that I'm comedian Christopher Columbus from the Greek Comedy Tour. And what the Greek Comedy Tour is, we have comedians for all Greek letter organizations from mostly D9. They're all D9 comedians. We have over 15 comedians. What we do is we raise funds, help chapters, regions, stage fundraiser, whatever. We tour around. It's probably like the ultimate MPAC event you can have. There's no Greek bashing. We bring like a host and like 3 comedians to your show, whatever. Right now we're doing virtual. One day we will be able to do in-person shows again. But if you're interested, you can follow us on Instagram, Greek Comedy Tour. And my personal page is Columbus 1914. You already know what the 1914 stands for. Or you can email me, info@the Greek Comedy Tour. That's what the Greek stand for. And one of the funniest comedians is okay. Can I go ahead and do my introduction now for my man? No, keep going, keep talking. All right, so the Greek Comedy Tour. So I guess
you can go ahead.
Go ahead, bring it. I just want to make sure. All right, cool. And so one of the biggest things about the comedians, man, a lot of the comedians that we have, you see on national television shows like Def Comedy Jam, Comic View, and also Wildin' Out. And one of the funniest comedians on the tour and I say one of the top 5 comedians in the world, one of my closest friends. I don't care what 5 comedians you list up. If this dude comes to your city, I want you to get out there and go visit this man. Make sure you follow him on social media. Top 5 comedian in America. He's a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. He's a HBCU grad, straight out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. My man, Mr. Steve Brown.
What up, man? What's going on? What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all doing?
Doing good. Hey, Steve, how are you?
I'm great. Just sitting here, having a good time with no bottoms on as usual. You know how I do, So I'm just one of them unpredictable people. I might just stand up at any time to show the world what's really going on. You know what I mean? That's just how I do. That's how I do.
Well, look, if you do that, my ratings would definitely go up.
Let's make them go up.
So thank you for allowing me to interview you. I have seen you perform several times, and you have left me in tears.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, listen. But before we get this interview started, okay, let's go off script. What I mean by that is you can ask me whatever you have to ask me on your interview sheet, but whatever you want to ask me, you can ask me. Okay. So let's leave no stone unturned. Got it? So let's have some fun.
Okay. All right.
This ain't your typical interview.
This is not my typical interview. Okay.
Right. I don't answer one of the questions now. Have I ever been on Pornhub? Yes, I have. I'm splitting the screen with y'all right now. I'm looking at a foxy grandma and talking to you at the same time. So yes, I have been on Pornhub and I am currently on it right now. So if I happen to get sidetracked, you know why. Go ahead.
Oh, Lord have mercy. This is going to be a treat. I know it is. Okay, so first question, tell the audience about you, where you're from. Tell them about you.
All right, so I am comedian Steve Brown. I am 53 years old, the father of 5. Of course, I was born in Detroit, Michigan, partially raised in Los Angeles, California, but most of my life I lived in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I don't know if you heard of Tuscaloosa, Alabama, but Tuscaloosa is an Indian word that means nothing to do. That's why I like to travel. But anyway, yes, I was raised there. In the church, of course. Yes, I was raised Kojic. If people don't know what those initials are, that's Church of God in Christ. That's one of those churches where you go, where they be running, jumping, throwing chicken, turning flips. One of them churches where you go Sunday morning, get out there Wednesday evening. One of them churches. Yes. So I was raised by my grandparents. I graduated class of '93 at Stillman College and HBCU. And I also pledged Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. And like I said, I've been doing comedy ever since '93 professionally, and it's had its good as bads. But I'm still here, and I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I've made a lot of great contacts along the way, and I'm just happy to be a part of it. And right now, my comedy has brought me from Def Jam, Comic View, Showtime at the Apollo, Medea's Family Reunion, Comics Unleashed, to you and Pornhub. So my career is not doing too well right now, but we okay. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be fine.
Pornhub.
Yes. In the room I grew up in. Yeah, but go ahead. Yeah, so you can't be too loud because I don't want mama to come in here and shut us down. Yeah. So go ahead.
So let me ask you this. So when choosing a college, what made you choose a HBCU? Why did you choose HBCU?
Well, actually, I really wasn't serious about going to college until one day my cousin Mason Bonner, who is a recruiter at Stillman College, decided to take me on a visit. And not only that, he took me on visits to other HBCUs. And of course, I visited, the white colleges, whatever. And, it's something about HBCUs that make you feel like it's home, like it's family. You know what I'm saying? The dorms look like the projects, the food, the nasty lunchroom food, all that is just home So, and it's a thing of pride. It's a thing of pride. So it's nothing like that HBCU experience. If you haven't been to an all black college, just pass by one, you're gonna feel something. Lions, tigers, bears. Oh my.
And Omega Psi Phi. What was it
Yes.
about that fraternity that interested you?
Um Actually, I have been watching for a while, and just seeing how they moved, other than them partying and being wild and doing things that you would stereotypically hear. But Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, it is a service organization. They do a lot in the community, and I had to do my research to see what exactly they did, and I was very impressed with it. As a matter of fact, I've been interested ever since I knew of the fraternity, because a lot of my role models were part of the fraternity. So here I am today, and I'm a proud active financial member. Did I say active financial? Did I say that? I did say that, didn't I? Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Young folks, active financial. Yes.
Active
As a
and
matter of fact,
financial.
yes, as a matter of fact, my good friend Christopher Columbus, he's a member of Phi Beta Sigma, but he ain't active financial, and suspended. So it's all good. It's all good though. I just felt like I need to get that out. I
Get
need to
you
get that.
call Chris out. He gonna get you.
Yeah, I just need to get that out. Yeah, he ain't active, he ain't financial, and he's suspended. But it's okay. It's okay.
So why did you choose a career in comedy? What was it about? How did you get your launch into comedy?
Well, actually, I was always addicted to people laughing. That's just like it's a high to me. You're seeing people happy, seeing people smiling, and I just started hosting shows in high school and in college. And one day, Ricky Smiley, he came to the college to perform, and he saw me.
Okay.
And let me get this incident out of the way. And he was like, "Hey man, you ought to start doing comedy." And I was like, "Cool." So what I did, I started doing a lot of open mics while I was in college,
Uh-huh.
and then when I graduated, I had a good job. I stepped out on faith, and I let the job go, and I started traveling, and here I am today. So
Oh
everything
wow.
worked out. Yeah.
Oh
But
wow.
now there were some bumps along the way, but
Mhm.
the word the key word is perseverance. Key
That's
word is perseverance. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So, how did you meet Christopher Columbus and get connected with the Greek comedy tour?
How did I meet Christopher Columbus? That's an interesting question. I was going to get my brother out of a crack house, and I saw Chris, and I was like, "Man, you shouldn't be doing this." No, I'm just kidding. No, we just happened to bump into each other on the comedy circuit, man, and you know, in this business, you don't find too many friends because it's a business, and you treat it as such, or you will get burned.
Hmm.
And Chris and I, we ran across each other, on several occasions. Then one day we just sat down and we talked, and we just became really, really good friends. So, he is one of my best friends. I mean, shoot, I go to his functions together. He come to my functions. We just really, really good friends, and that's something that's really, really rare, in this business. So I would say, he my dude, and he's been a blessing to me. He's been, there when I was up, when I was down, and he's a really good dude. He really is, and I'm really trying to, I can't wait till my stimulus check comes so I can help him get back financial, yeah. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I'm talking. I'm talking too much. Am I talking too much? Okay, let
No,
me stop.
no, you're not. Hey, Greg Brown, who was one of the past alumni presidents of Stillman, just gave you a shout out. They call him
Hey, let me tell you something.
Skeeter,
I don't know him as Greg. Okay, I don't know what
Skeeter
y'all
Brown.
sigmas and I don't know what y'all sigmas and zetas got going on, but he is the legendary Skeeter B. I think him and Chris Columbus are the only two sigmas that I love, to the heart. Those are some really, really good brothers. They some really good brothers, and they represent the fraternity really, really well. So Skeeter B. I knew Skeeter B when he was skinny. Now Skeeter B built like my stepdaddy. So, but it's good. It's all good. Yeah, Skeeter. Yeah, I've been knowing Skeeter for a while. Love Skeeter B. That's my dude.
Well,
So,
he speaks highly of you.
so if something was to ever happen, or God forbid, and God takes Skeeter on the glory, and they come out, here lies Greg Brown. I'm like, who the hell is Greg? I'm in the wrong damn funeral, So yeah, Skeeter, sir, Skeeter, Pastor, Skeeter. Yes,
So let me tell you, you said that you're real close to Christopher Columbus. So he
yes.
told me to ask you about
Oh
your
hell.
grandmother's collard greens.
You know what? First of all, I don't like y'all put my business in the streets. It's my mom's collard green.
Oh,
She
your
has a
mom's
green.
collard greens. So
Yes, yes, she has. That's her thing. She has a garden in the backyard, and we bumped heads plenty of times because the greens are supposed to be in the backyard in her garden. Well,
okay.
she's expanded the garden all the way to the side of her house, all the way to the front yard, to the front lawn, and people are pulling up and snatching her greens off and running, and she get mad to my Steve. They keep stealing my greens. Mama, they right there on the road. So, and they are some of the most beautiful greens you would ever see. She's gotten famous off of those collard greens. She really has. So, shout out to my mom and her greens, and she's like a green connoisseur. Have you ever seen greens in a flower pot? She does that. She put them.
No,
She traveled with them. She traveled. She traveled with them. So yeah,
you travel with them.
Mhm. I guarantee if you met her, she'll have a purse on and she'll like, baby, look in here. And it'll be some greens just like that.
So
She be doing too much.
you need to
I
take
love my mom, but she be doing too much.
you need to take a picture and put them on your social media so I can see these greens.
They're on there. They are on there. People love when I go home because when I go home to Tuscaloosa, I always do a live from her garden. People eat it
Okay,
up.
I'm
They
gonna have to
love it.
go back. Okay, I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to go
they
back
love
and
it.
look
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
So let me ask you this: how did you come up with the cereal? I think it's the Cereal Chronicles.
Cereal Bowl Chronicles.
Yes.
Actually, my youngest daughter and I, I have a really, really good relationship with my girls. I'm a girl dad. And we sit down, on Saturday morning and we eat breakfast together and I eat cereal with them. And we just talk about crazy stuff. And then my 9-year-old, excuse me, my 12-year-old, she was like, Dad, you ought to do something with this. You ought to just start, just just talking about stuff while you eating cereal. I bet the people will love it. And I tried it and it worked out, and it's been going good ever since.
The one I like is about. I think his name is Earl.
Mm-hmm.
That's,
Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Earl, yeah. The bad dressing guy, the bad, yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's the one I like.
Well, I'm glad you like it. I appreciate it.
Yes, yes. Now listen, there's a video out there about. I think there was a altercation or something happened one time when you was on stage.
Uh-huh.
Let's
That
talk
was no
about
altercation. The Negro tried to kill me. That was no altercation. That
what
was
happened, Steve.
well, okay. A lot of people got the video misconstrued. They would actually
Okay.
think they see it, they would automatically think that I was probably teasing the guy, joking on him, and he got mad. But actually, this was a case of mental illness. The guy had just gotten out of prison a couple of days prior to coming to the comedy club. He was diagnosed as being severely bipolar, and he had been drinking and he had been taking drugs. And what happened was he sometimes you can be in a place so long until you are institutionalized.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. And he panicked. So he started fighting everybody. And I'm like, I'm
Oh,
on stage and I'm like, wow, do I finish? Do I stop? So he made eye contact with me and started coming towards me. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So the thing is, he when he jumped on stage, that's what they call.
okay.
And it made it so but the thing is, Chris and I on our spare time, we box. We really do. Chris be getting knocked out all the time. But we box. And I had to kind of put the boxing skills to use, like, just using defensive tactics, keeping him in front of me and not turning my back on him.
Right.
And he was swinging and missing, and he got frustrated and he picked up a mic stand and tried to hit me with it, and the base of the mic stand flew off because it's really heavy, and it
Mhm.
hit a lady in the back. She ended up with stitches. A lady got her nose broken. Somebody got their toe broken. So it was just all out chaos, and there was no security, and the club got sued, and that's pretty much what happened. So, and the guy, he ended up going back to prison, and I just hated that for him. But these things happen. So it was an isolated incident.
Oh wow. Yeah, you're right. The video didn't catch all that. Like you said, it just caught that one piece.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you're okay, and like you said, it was bad, but it could have been worse. So yeah. So let me ask you this. So where do you come up with your material?
Um, Actually, in conversation, or sometimes I can be driving, or just doing whatever I do, shopping in the shower. I'll come up with something and I'll just write it down. I just write it down so I won't forget it. And usually, my a lot of my material comes up on stage. I can be doing my set and something will just come up and I'm like, man, I'm gonna try this. And it, either it works or it doesn't. And by the grace of God, usually it works. So I'm good with that. So I think me being on stage, it really really opens up my creativity. So you never know what you might hear. That's why Chris will tell you I'm unpredictable. I might be going one way and go another.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, is there ever a topic that you won't touch as far as joking?
Um the golden rule in comedy, and people don't want to accept it sometimes, is there is nothing above a laugh. There's nothing above a joke. So there's nothing that I won't touch. I'll touch on anything, but sometimes you have to have wisdom and use it and act with dignity. If, like, let's say if my man Chris got hit by a truck or something, oh, we finna laugh about that like right now, right now. You know what I'm saying? But usually, no. No, but real talk, it depends on what happens. Like for instance, you know as comedians, we find humor in things that people find hard to find humor in, like
Mhm.
the Colorado shooting. It's not funny at all. But trust me, somebody's going to find humor in not the actual shooting, but probably the shooter or his background or something like that. That's when you're professional, when you can kind of touch on those things and
Mhm.
tread those waters, but use enough common sense and wisdom not to, be offensive, if that makes sense
Right.
to you.
Yeah. No, it makes
So
sense. Yeah.
yeah, we can talk about, stuff that people just don't want to talk about, but it's not what you say, is how you say it in stand-up comedy.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
So in other words, don't ever be afraid to take a risk. But if you're gonna take that risk, make sure that risk is in your favor.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. So what is the most memorable moment in your career so far?
Mm. Believe it or not, the most memorable moment in my career is not television. It's getting to a point to where my craft is helping other people. Like, I have a scholarship fund. I do it. I raise money to give scholarships at students at HBCUs,
Okay.
and Grambling State University, Stillman College, Miles College, Claflin University has benefited from that. My long term goal is to have the Steve Brown Scholarship Fund at all HBCUs. And right now we're on track to come on board, or get on board with some more colleges, especially when this COVID-19 thing passes. And I'm just really excited about that, because I mean, I've just given scholarships to kids and helping them finish school. And the thing is, a lot of people, they give scholarships to students for them to start school.
Okay.
Mine is for
Yeah.
you to finish, for
Mhm.
seniors who are making the grades and they're ready to graduate, but they don't quite have that money to finish everything up. So we
Right.
bridge we bridge the gap, and hey, we welcome. We welcome.
Well, I can't wait for you to come to North Carolina A&T. My daughter, she's a freshman there, and I in my household, my mother's always taught us just go to school.
Mm-hmm.
She never said HBCU versus PWI, and I really didn't, like you were saying, I really didn't understand the difference because it wasn't pushed that way until
Mm-hmm.
she chose. I let her choose where she wanted to go.
Right.
When she chose to go to North Carolina A&T, just the love that we feel, both of our parents, me and her dad, just the love that we feel, and then like you said, she feels like she's at home, you know. So I think
Cool.
it was a good choice for her. Hmm.
Cool. 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 It was a good choice for all of y'all.
Yeah, right.
Because trust me when I tell you, she's gonna learn a lot about life being at a HBCU. She's
Yeah.
gonna learn a lot about life. I mean, real talk. So I mean, because hey, I think H if you can survive at a HBCU, you can survive anywhere, anywhere. I mean that. I
Well,
mean that.
I'm praying that she survives.
Oh, she will. She will.
So, which comedians have influenced you the most?
Um, of course, the old school comics, the Richard Pryors, the Eddie Murphys, Bernie Macs. Um, I like a lot of comedians, but I think my favorite comic has to be uh me. Yeah, me. Hmm. I'm self motivated. Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
I trust me. I'm a comedy fan, but I mean, in my mind, trust me, with what I'm working with, can't a comic out that touch me. I mean, I'm not being arrogant. I'm not being, cocky. It's just what it is. I mean, and the thing is, people get caught up in names. Oh, I don't know. I know this comic. I know him. I ain't seen him, but I ain't never seen you before. I don't know you. I don't know you either. Just come to the show. Trust me. I'll be your favorite comic. So again, yeah, there are a lot of funny, clever comics out there, and I'm a big fan of all of of comedians. The big names and the ones that you don't know about. But I'm the biggest fan of me. So if you don't push you, who else will?
Hey, amen. I got you on that
Mhm.
one. Yep, you're absolutely right. So, if you weren't a comedian, what would you do?
I'm a stripper all day. Let me show you something. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. No, I ain't gonna. My mama watching me. Actually, I had a great job in the field of communications. I was once a radio personality. I was also, believe it or not, I worked for the Tuscaloosa News. Believe it or not, I yes. So I had pretty decent jobs, and my voice just ain't cut out for that. Ain't nobody listening to me talking about no damn weather. Ain't nobody listening to me. They not. So, I think this is the job that God, you know, put made just for me. This
Make
for me.
this for
And
you.
and honestly, even though my job has actually made me cry, this is how crazy our business is. It really gets it's ugly at times. It's really ugly, and then it seriously made me cry. But I think I have the best job in the world when you can, get paid decent money and make people's hearts smile. I think that is a blessing. Blessed. That's a blessed job. You got a job that's wow. It's incredible. So there's a lot of people that go to work. They may make great money and they hate their job, but
That's
I
true.
actually
That's true.
love my job. I thank God every day for giving me my job. You know,
That is true. Well, what's the worst thing, if you could think of one thing, what is the worst thing about your job, about being a comedian?
the worst thing behind the scenes. People don't think about this. They think like, well, man, they go on stage joking, having fun, this and that, and this and this and that and this and that. That is the part that we allow you to see.
Right.
There are fights. There are it's all type of backstabbing because we're in the worst profession it is, and that's the entertainment business.
Hmm.
Anything goes. There are no unwritten rules. Of course, you try to be moral, but
Right.
there's a lot that goes on. Backstabbing people, lying on you, people, sleeping their way with the top to the top, men and women, all types of stuff goes on. And you just have to really, really be grounded and have um prayer in your life. And this is real talk because it really gets ugly. Chris and I, we talk about, the business all the time. And really, like I said, I'm blessed to have, Chris and a few more guys, Lab Love, as my true friends in the business because this is not a business that you can make friends with. You can have constituents,
Hmm.
but the entertainment business is what it is. If you're not prayed up, if you're not a strong individual, if you don't have a strong level of perseverance, this is not the business for you.
Yeah, Chris mentioned that when we interviewed him, he touched a little bit on that, and he was telling us
Oh,
about how there's been situations where people actually steal your jokes, and he
steal your jokes, steal your jokes, steal your material, steal your personality, all that. You know what I'm saying? And it's really really bad. And then this is a business based now on is based on how popular you are, not how funny you are anymore.
okay,
So
okay,
you see, so sometimes, like let's say if a person has a lot of followers, they'll be pushed more than the person who's actually really really funny but don't have as many followers. So
okay,
things have changed a whole lot. So of course, I've come up with this concept. It ain't who you know, is who you're looking at, and that's the truth. Because I'm sure you've seen and the viewers have seen people that they think they're very, very funny on social media and TV, and then they see them in person. They be like, "Wait a minute, this person ain't really that funny."
yeah,
Yeah, it's like that. It's really like that.
yeah,
So
yeah. Chris was mentioning that it's one thing for you to do a video on social media, but it's
mhm.
totally different for you to get up in front of people and do. How long is your sets usually? An hour, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours?
It depends on how I feel.
Oh,
You know what? The reason I say that is because a lot of comics always complaining, man, Steve Brown be on stage too long. He be on stage. So let me break this down. Yes, I do at times. Why? Because me being on stage is like my therapy. Some people drink, they smoke, they do drugs and all that. I don't do none of that. My stage, my therapy is being on stage, watching people enjoy themselves. I get so refreshed from that, and my mind opens up, and it's like, man, I'm like, wow, I'm in heaven. So I end up kind of overdoing it, or just or having fun, or just having my therapy. So and I tell comics, don't take it personal. I'm not trying to upstage you or make you look bad or make it hard for you. This is just something that happens. But I've learned to control it a little bit more. But I'm when I'm on stage, I'm having fun. So usually a comedy set is 45 minutes.
okay.
Usually I'm on stage for like 3 days, but I've I've calmed it down to like a day and a half. So I'm cool. I'm cool.
You said 3 days.
Yeah. So, but I've yeah.
How do you handle the hecklers in the
Yeah.
audience?
I give them a look first. Well, first off, with a heckler, sometimes some people want to be a part of the show, and
Okay.
sometimes people want to try to be disruptive and say and try to make people think, oh, I'm funnier than a comedian. Let me. So you have to first of all, you gotta differentiate which one is which,
Okay.
because some people want to be a part of the show and they don't mean no harm. So
Okay.
you sometimes you bring them into the show and talk back and forth to them as long as they don't get out of hand, and then you kind of let them ride or whatever, and let them have their moment in the spotlight, and then you keep it moving. Then you got those who want to so-called outdo the comedians. Then you give them that look like, okay, bro, all right, okay, thank you, and then or then you probably my line is, look, dude, you got a choice. You can enjoy the show or be the show. Make up your mind. You know that is the warning. And then I hit him with a shot. I hit him with a shot to let him know, look, I'm serious. You know what I'm saying? A joke that'll kind of like, oh, and then I'd be like, look, I'm telling you, you're gonna leave here mad. Then they keep it up. Then I go in on them. But I've given them like 4 or 5 warnings. And the thing is, the only way I'll go in on a heckler for real is when other audience members are starting to get upset with them. Because you got to understand, people paid money to see us and they want to see us perform. You
Mhm.
know, if they wanted to see the heckler perform, they would have went to their show wherever they are. You know what I'm saying? But you're people pay money to see us perform, so let us give them their money's worth. And but some people don't see it that way. They feel like, well, you know what? My girlfriend laughing at him a little bit too much. Let me go on challenge him. Yeah, that happens. That
The
happens.
ego. The ego.
Ego. The ego, yeah.
So let me ask you this. So, do you ever write material for other comedians or for shows or anything like that?
I have. We comics, we bounce ideas off of each other. And yeah, I've done it before. And but like I said, I'm more into writing for me. I'm trying to get as strong as I possibly can.
Mhm.
Strong, you know.
So, if someone is not quick on their feet, do you think they'll be successful at being a comedian?
Not necessarily. I mean, there are a lot of comics that are not quick on their feet, but and because you're not, that doesn't determine how good you are as a comic. Because there are a lot of comics who are not quick on their feet at all, but
Mhm.
they have great sets. They got a great show. You know what I'm saying? So people think that going at a heckler or cracking on people is comedy, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? It can we can incorporate it into our comedy set, but usually that's being quick on your feet. That's usually when you're responding to hecklers or whatever.
Okay.
But I don't usually get hecklers like that because I try to keep them so entertained and into what I'm doing until they don't really have time to do so.
Right. Right. That makes sense. So,
Mhm.
has there ever been a time where you were doing a set and
Mhm.
it kind of went south to the border, just wasn't your best?
I
Which
can.
you over?
Everybody's had bad sets. I've had bad sets as well. But I can knock on wood or whatever's in there. I've never been booed off stage, and that's a good thing.
That's
And
good.
honestly, um, I've had bad sets, and people didn't know I had a bad set.
Okay.
If that makes sense to you.
Yeah.
So,
Uh-huh. That makes sense.
yeah. So, because honestly, I'm like, I'm not really entertaining my audience. I'm entertaining me.
Really? Okay.
I'm entertaining me, yeah. So, and I want to give me the best that I possibly have. So that's just what it is. People just kind of um come to my shows to see me entertain me, and they're entertained by it.
Okay. So when you're doing a set, what is one of the jokes that you just love to talk about or love to tell? A favorite.
All of them,
You don't have a favorite?
all of them. You know what? A lot of, I don't know. That's a hard question to ask because a lot of people's favorite jokes are not my favorite jokes.
Okay, I got you. I got
Like when Chris and I together, he always be like, "Hey man, do the funeral home joke. Do the." I'm like, man, I don't know, because I feel like I don't have that joke perfected like I want it. So I'll do it sometimes, and sometimes I'll let it go. But
what
it's
the funeral home
people.
joke? I want to hear this one.
See, there you go. No, I'm not. No, ma'am, not doing it. Not doing it. And so Chris must have had you do this, trying to set me up. No, ma'am.
there's one thing that we haven't talked about, if there's one thing that you would like the audience to know about you, what would it be?
Um, right now, as far as my social media, I'm working on that more. I have a new fan page, Facebook fan page.
Okay.
It's All Things Steve Brown. All
Okay.
Things Steve Brown on Facebook, and that's going pretty well. Of course, I produced a new podcast. It's called the Yeah We Talk Like This show. I don't know if you've seen it yet, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's myself, Lav Love, JJ from the SIP, Jen Thomas, and the show is hilarious. I'm
I
like
think I did see
really really encouraging y'all to go watch it. It's grown folks talking about grown content, four different comedians, four different perspectives, and it is hilarious. And honestly, when I watch my stuff, I watch it from a professional standpoint. Like, okay, what can I do better? From I watch it from a critical standpoint.
that.
But I watch this show and I find myself laughing out loud. It's just that funny, and I don't even laugh at my own stuff. It's just that funny. So I'm inviting all the guests to check it out. It's called the Yeah We Talk Like This show on YouTube, and it drops every Tuesday, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And it's a very very funny show.
Tuesday, what time?
Tuesday at 1 o'clock
Okay. Okay. That's Eastern.
Eastern, 1 o'clock Eastern.
Okay.
So
All right.
I want
Well,
y'all to check that out.
well, my producer found the video of the collard greens, so I'm gonna let her.
Oh my God.
Yeah, load it up, Adelia.
I, I ain't coming back on this show. See how
Yes,
y'all do?
yes, you
I'm not
are.
I'm not coming back on this show. See how y'all do?
Yes,
I know Chris behind it. Chris behind this. Wow. Wow, really?
they do look good.
Oh my God. Wow. I think you know what? That's the video when I was out there at night. Yeah, I was out there at night because it had gotten late. Look, and then though that's those are her turnips, I think, and kale. She be mixing stuff in kale and turnips. Could you believe that? Yeah, so and she got how older people do, they sprinkle cocaine on their vegetables. So the the insects won't eat them. So that's what that is.
Okay.
Sprinkle cocaine. I don't know where she get it from. She's yeah, sprinkle cocaine on her greens.
The collard greens look good.
Yeah, yeah.
They look good. I read in your bio that you do some comedy in churches.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah,
church?
yeah, I do. I mean, I do. I can do comedy anywhere. I mean, all you gotta do is pretty much clean, you know, kill the curse words, clean up the content, and go from there. Of course, I was raised in the church, so I know how to maneuver.
Mhm.
So and honestly, some of my best shows have been in churches. So
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah, we have a really good time. So it's really cool.
Okay. Well, that's great. That's great. So, let's see. How do you feel? What do you feel is society's perspective of your profession?
Um, Society's perspective of our profession is they really don't take us serious. They don't take us serious until they see the success that comes behind it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They don't take it serious until they see how successful we are at it, and then it'd be like, man, you got that doing comedy, you put kids through school doing stand-up comedy. Yes, it is a legitimate job, it's a business. And because we treat it like, because we have fun doing our jobs, trust me, we really work hard. I mean, that's just what it is. So people, like if you have something serious to say, some
Mm-hmm.
people will write you up like, oh, he just a comedian, he don't know. And it's like, I think that's one of the most offensive things,
Yeah.
that people could say. But I'm a college graduate. I consider myself a very bright guy. So the thing is, and not only that, I'm putting kids through school, not only mine, yours. You know, so it's like I must be doing something right to be, doing what I've been doing for 25 years strong, and nothing but that.
Yeah, 25 years. Wow.
Yeah, and still sexy. You know what I'm saying? That's what my mama friend said. She a cougar. Her name is Hattie.
Your mama free.
Yeah, she be trying to holler at me. She every once in a while she'll pass by and pull up her slip. I like, really? Why are you pulling your slip up? Nobody wants to see your slip, lady. So yeah, yeah, yeah.
We had Lab Love on last week. He mentioned the differences between the main, he called it mainstream comedy
Mm-hmm.
clubs, and the ones owned by African Americans, or the black comedy clubs.
The chitlin circuit.
The Let's talk a little bit about that. What is your perspective on the two?
Comedy is comedy, and it's a thing of racism to me. But the thing is, a lot of white comedy clubs are hiring black acts, but they're not trying to pay them what the white acts are getting.
Really?
And the black comedy clubs, true enough, or the black rooms, as we call them, they keep you grounded. They keep you strong because, trust me, the hardest race to perform in front of is the most talented race in the world, and that's black folks. So we know talent. We know what we like, and we are also the most critical. Of
Mhm.
course, you performing in from a front, but it's easier doing the mainstream rooms because those white people come to laugh. You can say, "Hi, how are you?" Ha ha! Oh, he's hilarious. At a black room, hey, what's up, y'all? Man, forget all that. Tell the joke, my Negro. Tell the joke. Don't hear all that bullshit. That's that real talk. At a black club, you have to really be quick on your feet. You can be setting a joke up. Like, man, I was going to the store. Boo, boo. You don't hear that shit. That's so. You have to you have to really, really be, you know, on your stuff. So it's a difference. There's a lot of racism, and which leads me to this. I was in Vegas this weekend, and my lady and I, we went to a comedy club. We stopped by, and one of the patrons in the comedy club recognized me,
Okay.
and we were out talking, and I was talking to one of the managers of the club, and he looked my stuff. I was like, "Yeah, I remember you. I know who you are, white guy." And he calls the club manager over and starts telling him about me. He's like, "Hey, this comic, he's from Atlanta. He's been on this, that, this, and this and that." This dude looked me in my face and walks off. Walks off. Like, I wouldn't even stand. Just walks off. He looks at my stuff, look at me, and walk off. So they let you know they don't want you there, but there's nothing they can do about it because we're really making them money. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So
Right.
it is what it is. So just
Wow.
one. Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't even know about we when we talked about it last week, didn't touch on that. But yeah, I mean the difference in the pay,
Yeah.
mainstream to African Americans. I didn't even know that.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, they'll try to lowball us. They really will. Versus a white comic, and they'll give them the stars and the moon, and try to give us a lot less than that. Like we're just happy to be there. Like, no, we do the same. We do the same thing they do, and believe it or not, we do it better.
Right.
So come on, let's make it happen. So
So we had one question. Rebecca asked, "Do you think that comedians would be successful at opening and running comedy clubs?"
yes, I do because we know the business. And the thing is, a lot of comics, what they do, they'll start a specific comedy night at a comedy, no, at a nightclub, and it'll be successful until sometime the club owner, they'll like get greedy and be like, okay, I want this. This is what I want. This and that,
Mhm.
and then the night ends up shutting down. But I think for the most part, yes, it'll it'll be successful. It depends on who the comic is and what they bring to the table and their knowledge of the business. So
Uh,
it takes. it takes a lot to run a comedy club, because in a club period, because you got to look at the demographics, you got to
Mhm.
look at who's really interested in comedy, who's not. Because of course, we'll tell you our race, we'll tell you we gonna support something, and we won't.
Yep.
We
Yeah.
won't. That's just what it is. And,
Yeah.
and, and and it's crazy. It's crazy that people will not support you on your way to the top, but when you get there, they jump all on the bandwagon. It's like, no, 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 no. That's backwards.
That's
You
backwards.
know. So it is what it is. Like, I'm sure you've had people telling you that they're gonna watch the show, they're gonna do this, and you hadn't heard anything from them, and they have all types of excuses on why they didn't watch the show. Hey, sweetheart, my show was just on. Why didn't you watch it? Oh, I died. I died. Oh, well, catch me next week. Catch me next week. I'm gonna resurrect myself next week. Yeah.
But
All
then,
types.
let me get on Oprah, right?
Yeah.
And
You
then
get on there. Yeah.
I knew her I knew her when she first
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew her when she asked me to come to her show and I died. I remember that. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Hey, it's just the nature of the beast. That's all I can say.
Okay, so somebody, David Jeter, asked, until your comedic career stabilized, what kept you going?
Hmm.
My love of the business, my love of comedy kept me going. I was always pretty much stable because I was always working. God be the glory. I was always working, and of course I would have my dry spells just like any entertainer. But for the most part, things were pretty much cool. You know.
Okay. If anybody has any more questions, we're nearing the end of the show. So put your questions, put your questions in the comment section, and we'll make sure that Steve gets a chance to read it and answer it. I've had so much fun talking to you.
Thank you. I've had fun talking to you as well. I really.
Look. I don't know if you remember in January when you did the Sigma Florida conference. You almost got me in trouble.
Oh, what I do?
Because when you were doing your show, you kept saying, "Isn't that right, Miss Tina?" And people were
Oh,
like, "I thought you don't know him." I said, "I do not know him. I do not know him."
oh, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all good. I'm glad I didn't get you in trouble. You know what? But so next time we do it, I'm gonna try harder to get you in trouble. So we'll see what happens.
It's
And and thank you so much for having me on.
oh yeah, anytime. We're gonna bring Chris back on. Come on, Chris. Chris is
Oh
back.
hell no! Oh hell no!
Get him, Chris.
Chris,
I was muted. He been on here talking shit. I hear you, boy.
what? Hey man, I was just telling. I was giving the people what they want. That's the truth, man. That's the truth.
I asked him about the collard greens, Chris.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
His mom's to be with collard greens. Steve
hey
don't
man, let
like
me say
that.
this. Hey, let me say this. Hey, let's not talk about my mom around Chris. Chris has been trying to holler at my mom, and I don't appreciate it. I don't like this shit.
Oh, so you know what I'm saying? So we like, you know what I'm saying? So we like friends, like slash stepdaddy, little son. Yeah, at the
See
same
what I
time.
mean? See what I mean? This is what I'm talking about. Hey, Chris got an announcement to make. Chris, go ahead. You know the announcement.
Oh yeah. This Sunday, Steve will be baptized again. The last 3 times.
the water turned dirty.
Hey, what that was? You got Steve got baptized like 2 years ago, right? I went to a baptism. It was just me and him. The Holy Ghost went there. The pastor was no damn water. He was in one of them blow swimming pool, and everybody had 2 bottles of water in their hand, and we just poured it on their damn head. We started shouting.
Hey man, I don't appreciate that. Hey, yeah, Chris got an announcement. Chris, I thought you was gonna let him know on the show that you was also a Deshaun Watson victim. But look,
He touched me too.
Did you say Deshauna?
Deshaun Watson, the football player that got all the hey, he got a lot of allegations, man.
got a lot
Man,
of sexual assault allegations, and Chris called me this morning and said, "Man, he got me too." I'm like, "Damn, you need to come out and let the people
But
know."
you know what though? Steve like, you know how people always don't want to be first. They want somebody else to be the guinea pig. So Steve said, "Let me know how much you get. So I know what to say. I know to set the standard. Well, you, Chris, you be the crash dummy. Let me know how much you get."
So I can jump right in there.
So he get in there, and you know, tell Rob, be like, "I was Deshaun's bowling ball."
Two are a mess. Y'all two are a mess. Oh my goodness. That's one thing I like about both of you is that, and I know you know, take time out to write your jokes, but it's just so authentic. You know, you all can just right off the cuff, just flow with it.
Oh
And
yeah, this is us. This is us when we're together all the time. It's a good time when we're together though.
Yeah, we always have a good time.
what else did you tell me about this mama?
Oh, and mom with the greens.
Yeah,
He already said, "Oh yeah, he don't like me around his mama." He already told us that. Yeah.
the grandmama. Yeah,
No, I ain't saying nothing about the grandmama. Oh no, I ain't saying nothing about the grandmama. I said his mama got the greens. His mom got the greens. Yeah.
But you said the mother loves when you come around. The mother.
His mom and now Steve is blessed to have his mother and his grandmother living.
Oh
Doing
wow.
good, healthy too. Steve is very blessed to have his mother and his.
Oh, well, hold on. What you mean healthy too? What you trying to say, Chris?
Whoa, bruh. I know you too old to have a little brother or sister. I understand. Don't worry, you good.
Hey man, look.
Oh, she healthy.
No, he trying to say my mama thick. I don't appreciate that. Look, bro.
That video, that busted challenge I put up, Steve made me delete it quick. That's he like busted challenge. When she did this,
that's man. This is what happens. This is what happens
when you do together.
When I do something for Chris, this is what happens. You always turn on me.
It's good, man. People always know the behind the scenes about you, man. You know, so everybody always want to know. Man.
Hey, man. Well, yeah, that's cool, man. I appreciate y'all having me on, man. So, I just want to know, when are you going to, let the people know that you pledge out? When you gonna let them know? With me and Chris,
my younger brother is a founder. Our younger brother.
How old is he? About 23. He's 23.
And what'd you say the other night? He didn't even graduate.
He didn't graduate yet.
He didn't graduate.
Hey, Steve, before we leave, tell them how they can find out more information about your scholarship. If they want to donate,
Actually, you can go to my website, stevewbrown.com, and you can see the scholarship tab. They can donate, they can read up on it, and just submit different schools that they want me to have the scholarship at, and we'll go from there. You know what I'm saying? So we like I said, it's kind of slowing down because of COVID, but trust me, when we get past this curve, we're back at it again. So I'm very, very excited about that.
Well, if there's
as a matter of fact, Chris does a scholarship with the Greek comedy tour. He give it to him and take it back. I don't know why he did it like that.
Hey, I cash app him.
Yeah, he cash app me, man.
I cash app him. As soon as they get it, they take like $3 out. They don't even get all the money.
Y'all wrong with that.
Hey, man.
Hey, Chris. He told your business how much you weren't acting for financial. He
just be weighing stuff.
Anybody within the blue and white know they would not let you do anything like what I do if you ain't acting for financial.
Nah.
Hey, man.
You will not be doing anything if you ain't financial in the chapter.
Hey, the reason you get to do it because the president of your chapter ain't acting with financial. I just seen you.
We the only two people that vote.
Yeah.
We the only two people.
Hey, Hey
Where
man,
are you going to be at next?
actually I will be in Houston, Texas.
Okay.
My next show. No, actually I'll be here in Atlanta this Friday at this club called
Magic
it's
City.
called nah, man. Bulldogs.
I knew it. I told you.
Hey,
I knew
hey,
it. That's why,
hey,
hey, that's why you never see me and Steve together. Everything is virtual.
hey.
Always
Hey,
want to walk behind. You always want to walk behind people, Tina. Nah, man.
and Bulldog letting them pour candle wax on my back. Look, so
Let it harden up.
no, actually, I'll be at this club called Knockouts. It's a bar and grill. I'm doing this private show for this a good friend of mine this Friday, and then after that, I'll be in Houston, Texas, doing my thing at this comedy club called the Comedy Lounge, and I'm excited about that. So, and tickets are really going well, and I think it's gonna be good.
Okay. And if people want to reach out about hiring you, what's the best way? Is it your website or social media? How's the best way?
You can reach out. I don't care what type of social media, MySpace, Tinder. You can reach out to me anything. No, actually, you can just email me swbcomic@gmail.com. If you want to book me for a college show, you go through the Greek Comedy Tour. Chris will hook that up, and that's just pretty much what it is.
Well, Steve, it has been a treat. Thank you for celebrating my
Wait,
12th.
hold on. When people say it has been a treat, that means they're ready for you to go. I'm not going nowhere. You can go. I'm gonna be here. I ain't got nowhere to be.
Well, look, when the show goes off, do not disconnect. Okay, stay on. Don't disconnect.
Now, Chris, you gonna try to have her hollering at me now? I ain't got time.
No, I'm not.
Hey.
Ain't
She trying to see it. She trying to see if you got bottoms on for real.
Yeah.
Look, not in front of everybody, right?
Not in front of everybody. Hell no. Steve picture be that old scratch and sniff picture.
Hey man.
Everyone, I thank you so much for tuning in today to meet and learn about the inside perspective of Steve Brown, comedian Steve Brown. Chris, I thank you as always for making my anniversary so special.
Man, nobody give a damn about Chris. Nobody give a damn about Chris.
Y'all need to stop. Don't
Him shout out like he did something.
Stay on YouTube. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next Wednesday.